to make paintings that are irreproducible. And in this age of reproducing everything, you know, it's kind of so opposite. Yeah, the wires that I'm putting in the painting, the upper part of the composition needed some structure, and it needed a sense of place and space. And so I decided that something significant needed to go there, but I wanted a linear element. And it echoed what was going on with the fence being something linear. So transferring on with tracing paper works rather well. I've got tracing paper that I draw on, and under that I place some pastel coated bond paper, and that becomes my transfer sheet. And as you can see, I work sometimes with dark paper or with light, depending on what the ground is underneath. So it's a great way to sort of try out forms and to see how they'll sit in the composition as well, without committing to paint and scraping and all the process that goes into that. The masters use tracing paper a great deal. Some of their drawings that seem so effortless are the result of many trials and refinements using tracing paper. And so there's certainly a precedent for that, but I just find it to be a great way to visualize what's going to happen next. The painting that I'm working on in this video is one that has gone through a number of significant changes. And you'll see me using the heat gun in my left hand, and that's a habit I've sort of relied on for a number of years now. It can enable me to let the paint flow a certain way, and it uses heat in another fashion rather than simply using it for the fusing aspect. It keeps the paint more fluid and allows me to paint without having it sort of clump up and become this big mass. When you do work with that second hand, you've got to have your wits about you, because you can fry up your brushes or destroy entire areas of a painting, which I've done. So anything that could be done that's a negative, I've probably done, and that's certainly a great way to learn. And you can see, you know, just being very free about how the paint goes in. I use a lot of flats in my brushes when I'm doing something angular. If I want to get blends, I might use a sort of scrubby, kind of worn down brush and scumble. And many of the techniques I use are techniques that you would use in oil paint. I had a lot of fun putting those things in because they come and go. Often you have to be willing to sacrifice those specific images and forms for that overall sense of maybe atmosphere or light, so that you do get something that has a special kind of unity and a voice to it.